So, good day, warm greetings to the meditation session we'll do now. And I'm actually quite happy to be sitting here and sharing this time with you. And as an introduction to this sitting, one of the really key parts of mindfulness of breathing is not the breath, but rather is the mindfulness that we bring to it. I like to think of mindfulness of breathing as being the meeting place of the body breathing and the awareness that experiences it, that knows it. And so the mindfulness, the awareness, how we bring our attention to the breathing is an essential component part of this practice. And sometimes it's a good idea to spend a little bit of time studying, investigating the nature of the how we are mindful, how we are aware. And one interesting place is when the mind wanders off in thought. And when we notice that, how are we with that? Are we critical? Are we upset, discouraged? Or might it be possible to be rather matter-of-fact about it without any real emotional reaction at all? Just, mind has wandered off. That's what's happening. And then to begin again with the breathing, where the beginning again, the returning to the breath, is a pleasant event that rather than jerking the mind back, hurrying back, getting back discouraged in a discouraged way, there's something about returning, welcoming back the breath, or starting again with the breath, or if you bring your mind back to the breath, that movement is harmonious, is gentle, is easeful, has a feeling of calm, maybe even a feeling of pleasure. So that maybe in a way you begin looking forward to the opportunity to start over again, to begin again. Here. And then how we are with the breathing. And I think of it as having a light touch, but also a touch that's committed. Apparently the Latin roots for the word commit comes from the same root as the word mitten. It has to do with touching. Commit, touching with something. But to touch it, so being committed, but being light, a light touch. But a light touch that's continuous, right there, stay there, stay there. Sometimes the analogy has been used of picking up a bird that's been stunned. Maybe it come in the house and you have to take it outside. And you want to hold it in such a way that no way do you hurt it, but you also hold it, clearly you hold it, kind of, I don't know if firm is the right word, but you really keep it in your two palms of your hand. So you stay connected to it, and then once you're outside, you let it go. So this commitment to the bird that's tender and soft, commitment to the breath, where we're seeing if we can stay there continuously, but with a light touch, so that the mind begins to be light and soft and calm as well. And, of course, the mind will wander away. And then to experiment with, finding a way to begin again that's enjoyable, that is harmonious with the process of meditation. And when you notice the mind has wandered off, notice that in a way that's harmonious with the meditation. So it's all about the how we're relating to what we are knowing. And that's really one of the key aspects of this practice. So with that, assuming your meditation posture, and before we begin any further, perhaps you can take a few moments with your mind to see if you can find a way of knowing, of being aware, mindful, that has some feeling of ease to it. Not in a hurry, but also not held back. And then with that mindfulness, take a few long, slow, deep breaths, maybe 3/4 full, so you don't get winded or strained. And an exhale that in a relaxed way is longer than usual. Breathing in, and a gentle, long exhale without going so long that it's a strain. Breathing in and exhaling. And then letting the breath return to normal. And take a few moments on the inhale to feel the muscles of your shoulders. And on the exhale, to relax the shoulders. On the inhale, to feel down your arms and your elbows, hands. And on the exhale, to relax the arms, hands. Soften. As you breathe in, feeling any tensions or holding in the chest. And the exhale to relax the chest. Breathing in and feeling your belly. On the exhale, relaxing the belly. Breathing in and feeling your legs, and knees and feet. And exhaling, softening, relaxing. And on the inhale, feeling the muscles of your face. And on the exhale, relaxing. And on the inhale, maybe feeling the energy or the pressure, tension associated with thinking. And on the exhale, relax the thinking mind. And then, as if you have all the time in the world, but without delaying, center your attention on the body breathing. Wherever the breathing is most clear for you, pronounced, or most enjoyable. The belly, the chest, or the nostrils. Or some people prefer to experience the whole breath body, the global experience of breathing. And as a little experiment, let go of the focus on breathing. Maybe think about something. And then see if you can come back to being with your breathing in a way that feels where the how you do it is pleasant or relaxed or harmonious with a peaceful meditation. And then as you're with your breathing, how are you with it? How are you relating to this, to your awareness? Are you straining? Are you uncommitted? Can you be committed to your breathing in a soft way, but committed, where awareness of breathing is welcoming, receptive, maybe as if you and your breathing are walking together hand in hand, friends walking in a park, holding each other's hands lightly, gently, lovingly. So awareness is together with your breathing. And if your mind wanders off, tend carefully with how you begin again with your breathing. How you return to be accompanying your breath, hand in hand. Receptive to breathing in and breathing out. you find yourself lost in thought, experiment with beginning again with breathing. So that beginning again is enjoyable or a pleasant thing to do. What would it take to land back on your breathing, to receive the breathing again, so that you enjoy doing it? As we continue meditating, can you allow the experience of breathing to come in more fully to awareness? As we let go of thinking, there can be more room to experience the fullness of a single breath. As inhale fills the body with air, so it fills awareness. mindfulness of breathing is the meeting place of the body breathing and the knowing of it. And how that meeting happens is central to this practice. To have the meeting be clear, definitive, as complete as possible, and peaceful, calm, light, soft. Allowing things to become quiet, quiet in the mind, quiet in the body, and a tender contact between awareness and the body breathing. And then as we come to the end of this sitting, to carefully allow whatever calm or subtleness you might have, or allow whatever challenge you might have, and how that touches you or touches your heart. And open up that sensitivity to the world around you. Bring into your awareness the people of your life, your neighbors, people in your town or province, people you know and don't know. Imagine that they're all held in your expansive tenderness, openness. And how we are in relation to other people is at the heart of refuge and sangha. How we are, and without any obligation, without anyone even knowing, can you find within you the well-wishing for others? The idea that it would be wonderful if others were happy and peaceful. and that you wish it for them. And as if you're a lighthouse shining the light of well-wishing across the earth, sit here for a few moments, spreading the light of your goodwill into the world. A goodwill that maybe can be expressed in these words. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. And may it be that in even the smallest ways or in big ways, we contribute to that possibility. So, for those of you who came to the meditation just now, thank you for those of you who came at the 15 minutes earlier and had this longer sitting, and thank you for those of you who might have joined at the regular time, or any time. It's always, you're welcome to come, and what's wonderful about this electronic medium for meditation together is that it's everyone enters the meditation room in a sense quietly. So so some of you will find, I see that the idea that the 15 minutes extra meditation is a lot longer, and certainly if you're used to one length of time, it takes a while to kind of get used to the longer period. And once after a while it becomes normal, the longer period, it can seem to go quite quickly, and anything shorter feels like we're not quite, finished, maybe. So it's well worth doing the stretch. So hopefully this week is nice for you, and if it's not nice, I hope that it's educational. You learn something about yourself that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. So, in the overall series on this mindfulness of breathing, we're halfway through the 16 steps. But we're kind of taking this week to kind of review or just kind of begin over again in a certain way. And beginning over again is not really starting over completely, but meditation, it's often useful to think we're always beginning over. That often, our lives have ups and downs. We've been active in our life, and we sit down to meditate, and seldom we just drop into the depths of where we were before, but rather it's always kind of a beginning over. And learning how to be a beginner, learning how to engage in it in a way that is harmonious with meditation, or supports the enjoyable settling in, is part of this art. And not to be in a hurry, not to be striving, but to be diligent and to be wholehearted, and showing up in a way that, this is really good to be here. And in the instructions the Buddha gives, the preparation for the first step is the instruction to establish mindfulness. And this idea of establishing awareness, I like the expression awareness, establishing attention here. I've asked a number of people how they understand this idea of establishing awareness. And many people respond that for them it means to allow for it, to enable it. Awareness or attention is a kind of a capacity that in all our conscious moments is operating. And to establish it is to open up more fully to what's already here, and maybe to center oneself in that awareness, to be rooted in here. Some scholars have said that the Pali word for establish could also mean to stand next to or stand close to. It's to really accompany something. And this idea of having awareness established, like it's really rooted here in the present moment. And to do that, a fair amount of what we have to do is to let go. We have to let go of the ways that thinking preoccupy us so much that we don't even know we're aware. We get pulled into its dramas, its stories, its concerns. And there's something about letting go enough of the storylines, the thoughts, the ideas, the preoccupations, so that we're clearly cognizant that I'm here in the present moment. And something as simple as I'm here in this body, I'm here in this place, begins to establish. And so the question is, more fully for you, what does it mean for you to establish yourself here in awareness, in attention? And how to do that establishment that you're finding a place that's wholesome, finding a place that's healthy or helpful or even healing, a way of really being here in the midst of what's going on. It might be that there's a lot of emotional turmoil or difficulty, physical pain. There might be challenges that go on. There might be challenges around you in the environment. But if it's appropriate to be meditating, what does it mean to establish yourself peacefully? Or another way of saying it, which I like quite a bit for myself, is the idea of sitting and practicing without being in conflict with anything. And what does it mean to sit here without conflict? And so then, we kind of looking around and seeing, where is there conflict? Where am I caught up in responsibilities or desires or resentments? And what are these? And not necessarily to make them go away or to let go of them if it's not easy to do so, but what is it like to be sitting in the middle of it, established? And so this image of sitting in the middle and just being present for the experience. I think I've said this recently. My son, when he was, he went into kindergarten, and he was kind of young, kind of in the younger end of, I forget exactly what he was, but I think he was still 4 or something, and 4.5 maybe. And he went to kindergarten, and the first month or two, he would find a small little kid chair and place it right in the middle of where all the kids were playing in the classroom. And he would just sit there and watch everything that was going on. And it was only after a couple of months that he left his chair and started interacting and playing with the kids. And no one ever felt that he was troubled or upset or afraid. He was just, that's what he did. He just sat right there, confidently in the middle, and just took it all in, and this whole new environment. And so he established himself in the room of, probably chaos, kids, kindergarten kids playing and running around. And so to establish oneself, to root oneself here, I know some teachers who have emphasized that simply having your 2 feet rooted, firmly on the ground, or on the cushion meditating, your butt firmly on the seat, that's really where the heart of it is, really here, established here. I had one teacher who gave this wonderful teaching, and he said that a successful period of meditation, sometimes, because it can be so wild and so maybe agitating, or what's going on within as we meditate, that definition of a successful period of meditation is that we did not leave our seat. And he said, sometimes it's like the rodeo, but you stay in your seat, stay on the saddle. And the reason he called it a success is that we don't give into it, we don't give up because of it. And sometimes just simply hanging in there and staying, it doesn't look like it's a wonderful meditative experience, but it takes we're cultivating a lot of strength, a lot of stability, and the ability to keep our seat, to hold our ground. Here, I'm staying here. And so, what's the nature of how we establish awareness? What's the nature of the way that we practice awareness, practice attention? And this took me a long time to understand for myself, because I had a lot of agendas sometimes when I was practicing. Like sometimes I had the agenda to get concentrated, and I was pushing and straining and trying my best and judging myself and comparing myself to when I was meditating in a room with other people. Kind of part of me was comparing myself with others. I was, and trying to catch up or be as concentrated as them, or be as mindful as them, or as still as them, or something. And all this swirl of comparative mind, swirl of needing to accomplish something, needing to prove myself. And then there was the attitudes of not liking what I saw in myself and being upset with this and that happened. And the mindfulness then had a sting to it, that it wasn't just being mindful of something, but there was little barbs, like poking at myself or criticizing myself, kind of together with being mindful. And slowly to learn to simplify and simplify and simplify the awareness from all this extra stuff that we bring along. So much so that some people would say that the whole process of meditation, like the whole process of the 16 steps of Anapanasati, is a process of simplifying awareness so it comes into its pristine purity, or its pristine simplicity. Just aware, to see clearly, without the seeing having any filters, without the seeing having any obstructions to it. And just to see. And to trust that that's enough is supported with the idea that the actions, how we take care of things, that will come later. First, we're learning this ability to see in this clear, simple way. And that allows us to see better what can be done and what should be said or can be said. There's more wisdom that way. So finally, this quest for simple awareness, tranquil awareness, that is committed and established and just stays here with the experience. And maybe it's inspiring for you to remember the little saying that if you want wisdom, the wisdom of how to live in this world, become tranquil. Have your awareness established in its simplicity. And learn how to be content with that. That it's enough. That for now it's just enough sit here and be present. Later can come the action, the response. So establishing awareness. So thank you very much, and let's all of us continue with our awareness practice. Thank you.